Sweet fact. Can candy make you smarter?
What if I told you that popping a piece of candy could help you think better? It sounds too good to be true, but there's a sweet spot in this idea. Research has shown that glucose, a type of sugar found in candies, can momentarily enhance mental performance. When you eat sugar, it gives your brain a quick burst of energy because glucose is the brain's primary fuel source. In one study, people who had a sugary drink started to concentrate better and had faster reaction times. So, does this mean we should all eat candy all the time? Not exactly. While a little bit of sugar might give your brain a quick boost, too much isn't good for your health, and the crash afterwards can make you feel tired and sluggish. But next time you're facing a difficult puzzle or need to power through some studying, a small sweet treat might just be the brain food you need to help you find the solution.
Is space completely silent?
If you've ever seen space movies, you've probably heard lots of noise during epic space battles. But did you know that sound can't travel in space like it does here on Earth? Space is a vacuum, meaning it's mostly empty and has no air. Since sound waves need a medium like air or water to travel through, space is incredibly silent. You wouldn't be able to hear rockets exploding or planets colliding if you were floating out there. But that doesn't mean space is without any kind of sounds. Scientists use special instruments to pick up electromagnetic vibrations that objects in space give off. These vibrations can be turned into sound waves that we can hear. For instance, NASA recorded the sound of wind on Mars, which was made possible by translating vibrations picked up by spacecraft instruments. So, in reality, space itself may be silent, but we have found ways to listen to the many fascinating things that are happening millions of miles away in the cosmic expanse. Space is not just the final frontier, but a frontier of silence, too.
Do snakes have a glowing secret?
What if I told you that some snakes can glow in the dark, but we can't usually see it with our own eyes? It's true. Scientists have discovered that certain snakes have a shiny trick up their scales. Some species, like the pit viper, boa, and python, can reflect infrared light that's invisible to humans, but seen through a special camera, they light up like a Christmas tree. This superpower comes from a protein in their skin that reacts to the infrared light and makes them glow. Why do they have this glow? It's still a bit of a mystery, but scientists think it might help the snakes recognize each other or maybe even lure in prey. This glowing ability is so different from other animals, it makes snakes even more unique than we already thought. Isn't nature full of surprises? Who knows what other glowing secrets animals might have that we've yet to discover? So the next time you see a snake, just imagine it could have a glow we cannot see, making them hidden stars of the animal kingdom.
Can birds predict the weather?
Imagine if you could predict the weather just by watching birds. Sounds like magic, right? But some birds are like feathered weather forecasters. Before a storm comes, birds can sense the drop in air pressure. So what do? They often fly to a safer spot or hunker down before the bad weather hits. For example, seagulls usually hang out at the beach, but if they move inland, it could mean a storm is brewing. And some birds, like swallows, fly lower to the ground when bad weather is on the way. Farmers used to watch them to get a hint about the coming weather conditions. These little creatures have survival instincts that let them sense changes in the environment well before humans can. So next time you see birds changing their behavior, you might want to grab an umbrella. They could be telling you that rain is on its way. It's amazing how nature has its own ways of giving us a heads up about what's to come in the great outdoors.
Is there a sneaky fruit eating you back?
Okay, get ready for this. What if I told you that there's a fruit that actually eats you while you're eating it? Sounds like a twist from a sci-fi movie, but it's a real thing. This fruit is none other than the tropical pineapple. When you eat pineapple, it's kind of eating you back. This is because pineapples contain an enzyme called bromelain, which breaks down proteins. So as you chow down on that juicy slice, the bromelain is at work, munching on the proteins in the mouth's tender tissues. Ever notice that tingly or itchy feeling when you eat pineapple? That's bromelain doing its thing. Don't worry, though. Your body quickly repairs any minor damage, so it's nothing to be scared of. Next time you eat pineapple, you'll realize it's not just a one-way snack, but a two-way interaction. It's a little weird, but also pretty amazing, right? Pineapples are the daring adventurers of the fruit world, offering a sweet, tangy taste and a little bit of a nibble back.
Can you hear the sound of silence?
You might think that silence is the absence of any noise, but it actually has a sound of its own. In an absolutely quiet room, like an anechoic chamber, which is designed to completely absorb reflections of sound, you can hear two very strange things: the sound of your own heartbeat and the circulation of your blood. These chambers are so quiet that the background noise is measured in negative decibels. The world record for the quietest place on Earth is held by one such chamber at Orfield Laboratories in Minnesota, which is negative 9.4 decibels. That's quieter than a snowflake landing on the ground. People who have spent time in this room often find it unsettling. They can become disoriented or even hallucinate because our brains are not used to such silence. Most individuals can't stand to be in an anechoic chamber for long, precisely because the silence amplifies internal noises that we normally can't hear. So, next time you crave silence, remember that complete silence can be more than you bargained for.
Ever heard of a bird that can copy chainsaws?
Imagine walking through the Australian forest, expecting to hear the chirping of birds or the rustling of leaves, but instead you hear the sound of chainsaws? Believe it or not, there's a bird called the lyrebird that can mimic almost any sound it hears. And when I say any, I mean it. The superb lyrebird has been recorded copying not just other birds, but also car alarms, camera shutters, chainsaws, and even the human voice. These extraordinary birds use their remarkable ability to attract mates by creating a complex mixture of noises. They are like the DJs of the animal kingdom, spinning a mix of natural and unnatural sounds that they pick up from their surroundings. They're so good that even the sound experts they mimic can be fooled. Now, isn't that an incredible talent that could make us think twice about whether what we hear is real or just an amazing copycat performance from a feathered friend?
Do cats always land on their feet?
When you watch videos of cats jumping around, you might think cats have superpowers. They seem to always land on their feet, no matter which way they fall. But do they really? Well, cats have a special trick called the righting reflex. This is like an inner gyroscope that helps them figure out which way is up when they're falling. By 7 weeks old, kittens can start using this reflex, and by 7 months, they're pros at it. So when a cat falls, it quickly twists its body in the air to land on its feet. But wait, it's not perfect every time. If a cat falls from a really low height, it might not have enough time to flip over. And from too high up, it could get hurt when it lands, even on its feet. Luckily, cats are also smart and try to stay away from those risky jumps. So while cats often land on their feet, they still need to be careful, just like us when we're climbing or walking on high places. Remember, even with cat-like reflexes, safety first.
Can you eat light bulbs without getting hurt?
Guess what? There's an artist who can actually eat light bulbs. It sounds super dangerous, right? But this person has learned how to do it safely. The artist's name is Todd Robbins, and he performs a trick where he chomps down on real light bulbs as if they were crunchy apples. Before you even think about trying it, don't. It's seriously risky, and only professionals like him who have spent years learning the trick should attempt it. Todd Robbins knows how to pick the right kind of light bulbs and how to chew and swallow the glass so he doesn't get hurt. Light bulbs aren't the only weird thing he's made a snack out of. He's also munched on other unusual items that you'd never think could be food. But remember, eating light bulbs is not a way to get a light snack, pun intended. It's a dangerous act that should be left to the pros. Let's stick to regular food and leave the light bulb snacks to the magicians of the stage.
Do bees have a favorite tune? The buzz about bee music preferences.
You might not think of bees as music fans, but scientists have found that these busy little insects actually buzz more when they're around flowers that vibrate at a frequency similar to their favorite tunes. It's kind of like how we tap our feet to a catchy song. Researchers discovered that some flowers have evolved to produce vibrations that attract bees. This makes the bees more likely to visit and pollinate them. So when you see a bee hopping from flower to flower, it might just be doing its version of dancing to a bee hit playlist. Imagine that, a bee DJ mixing the beats in your garden. Now that's a nature's party you don't want to miss. Follow me for more fun facts.